Hey, good day, guys. Want to make some video about in terms of how to use Trade Idea scanners. So first thing first, let me show you how to go into Trade Ideas. If you go to Google, just go to google.com, right? So if you go to google.com, you go to Trade Ideas web, right? I mean, you can use there's multiple ways to do it. You can use a web version or you can use a pro version where you actually go and download it. I'll show you the web version, which is one of the most easiest ones. So if you are looking to trade anywhere, sometimes you have some softwares, you might not be able to download it. So I mean, the web is really the way to use it. So if you have email, Gmail, then of course it gives a few options. You can create your own user ID if you want. You can log in using Facebook, log in using Google. For real-time mode, I mean, of course, you can create the accounts, but if you use a demo one, I mean, the data is delayed about 20 minutes. That's still okay. I mean, I'll show you how you use it. So let's say you log in using Google. There's a whole bunch of agreement and all yada 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 to write down. That's all it. And then yeah, you just go into your email. So my email is swatchlist@gmail.com. So that's what I'm gonna put in. Next thing you put on is your password. You put in your password and boom, right? So what you'll notice on here, uh, just do this, right? You see it over here. So it says currently idea surfing. So it shows everything is good. Let me just refresh it. Okay, so here's what you see on the trade ideas, right? I mean, it's really cool software. I mean, there's a bunch of social media channels that you can use. The channels is really different scanners is on there. So something like social media, in terms of AI suggested social bullish items, bearish names. You have a quick view in terms of the stocks, right? There's also virtual analyst. I mean, it won't really work on the demo platform, but this is really as if you have any AI strategies that you have set up. That's what you can see on here. That's not really much required. Then you have pre-market data, right? This is one of the most useful ones that I personally see. It has up gappers, down gappers. Now, one really cool thing about this Trade Ideas platform is you can actually go to a specific date, right? So let's say if I want to go time frame. So today is the 24th June, right? So if you want to go, let's say, use a historical date, right? So I can go and pick, say, hey, you know what, on Friday at 9 o'clock, right, 9 a.m. What were the stocks? So it's gonna, I mean, I'm on a demo platform, right, and it still shows you all the names on here. So I mean, if you go configure and pop out, so here's what you'll see, right? So on here, you'll see all the filters, the scanners, which is on here. So all the filters, if you see, right, hide and use. So the filters, which is already built into it for up gappers, is price minimum of $1, average volume per past 5 days, 100,000, volume today of 2,000 shares, right? EPS 0.001, minus 0.001. So these are the ones which is already built into it. You can go and take a look at different in terms of different exchanges you want to use. You can even create your own customized list if you want. You can even sort the columns, right? So I'll show you in terms of what you see. So you can sort columns, right? You can add a whole bunch of stuff. So let me show you what exactly it is. So right now we are running on the scan based on this up gappers, where stock web price at least $1, daily volume is over 100,000 shares, today volume is 2,000 shares, and earnings is this and so on, right? You can always have a sort feature as well. So if you click OK, right? So now I want to see that, hey, you know what? Come 9 o'clock, what names do show up, right? So if you take a look on this, it will show you a whole bunch of names, right? Able, WSC, TNDM, and so on. Generally, if you're looking on these charts, if it's a real-time platform, you know what? This one is going to pre-populate the chart. This is a demo platform that doesn't really show, but I've seen even the real-time platform, the charts are really not that great. So I won't really rely on these charts that they have. It's pretty crappy on there. But if you just want to take a look at, hey, you know what names are gapping, how much volume is doing. So a whole bunch of stuff that you will see on here, right? So you can see what is the gap percentage in terms of how much dollar is gapping up. So that's a really cool thing. Now, if you want to change the columns, right? If you go to configure, and let me just load this thing up. All right, so columns. So I say, hey, you know what? I don't not really concerned in terms of the earnings date. Maybe I'm concerned about the float. Maybe I want to take a look at relative volume, right? Relative volume is how the volume uh, relative to the other days. So maybe I want to see relative volume. So if I click on this, okay, now you see relative volume, right? So you can do a scan based on relative volume in terms of how much volume it is versus other days. So if you see Able is doing a lot of volume, WSC, FCell, MTM, and so on, right? So this is how you see the up gappers. If you want to see, hey, you know what, I want to trade only penny stocks. Once again, you just go to configure. Let's load this thing up. And then you use filters, right? So if you want to trade anything between $1 and $10, you just put it on here, click OK, okay, and boom, there you go, right? So anything over between $1 and $10, you will see everything on here. Now you say, hey, you know what? I'm not really interested in trading penny stocks. I want to trade more on the large cap stocks. So once again, you go back to filters. Large cap stocks generally will have a lot more volume in it. So if you take a look on the, let's say you type in volume. So really very cool feature is if you whatever you want, you just type in the volume. It's going to show you all the volume options. So past 3 months average volume. Let's say I want to have traded over 300,000 shares. Don't really care about the earnings per share. Maybe I want to have something which has high volume today, right? So 25,000 shares. Price definitely want to be over $1, and I want to trade something which has a range, right? So if you look at range, average true range for the past 14 days, you can put it say 0.5, right? So which means the stock has actually moved about 50 cents in the last 14 days, at least 50 cents. You can put in more if you want more range, so you bump it up to maybe 1, right? So it means in the past 14 days, the average of it, the stock which have moved at least $1 for the day. You can also do ranges for either today's range, 2-minute range, 5-day range, 10-day range, and a whole bunch of stuff, right? So a whole bunch of filters that you can put on there, right? So if you won't put basic ones, price over $1, has a daily average daily volume 300,000, volume period 25,000, with a good range of over a 1, and then you click OK. Now you'll see all the stocks which have higher volume. Right now, if you do a search of the gap based on gap percentage, you see a whole bunch of lists on here, right? So you'll see the regular stocks. You'll also have ETFs. I mean, if you once again, if you want to create your own list without the ETFs, you can do that as well. Just go to configure, go to symbol list, and you can create your own list over here if you want to. So that's for up gappers. Similarly, if I close this thing up, if I want to do, say, you know what, this is for down gappers. So same theory. I mean, go to go configure and pop out, put in the same filters. It has all these filters already built into it. Click OK. Once again, you'll see all these names over here, right? So you can customize it based on whichever day you want. So let's say you want to pick something for June 20th, say 9 o'clock, right? So this is for pre-market gappers. So boom, there you are. Right, so you see all based on gaps. You can see the volume. You can change all of this right on the columns we showed you on here. You go to configure, you go to columns, and you can, if you want to remove it, you can remove. If you want to add it, you can add it, right? You can. So there is a whole bunch of stuff that you can do on here. Given this is only a demo platform I'm looking at, you can also do a whole bunch of other filters based on moving averages, based on RSIs, based on Bollinger Bands, consolidations, short growth, short float, right? So pretty cool software on here, right? So this is if you want to find gappers. There's other way to do it. I mean, if you want to use in terms of social media, that was the first one. In terms of social media, they're looking at stock tweets, right? Stock tweets to see what is in terms of bullish, bearish. Short quiz, which generally have, they already have a pre-built filter in it, which is really going to show you stocks in terms of, show you this, right? So short foot will really have something which is near its range, it has a high short foot over 20%. Today's range is biggest on the top. That's the sorting percentage, right? You can sort and you can sort it based on however way you do it. So that's one way to do it. So that's short squeeze. If you're looking into bitcoins, blockchains, and they have all of that fun stuff in here as well. If you want to see now trending stocks in terms of what stocks are trending, that's a really very cool way to do it. You have long-term, what is moving today. And let's see what else is in there. There's a guy who they do have their own personal room as well, trade ideas. So this this guy named Barry who has their own trading room, and these are the scans which he personally has. So they have it all in here as well, already all built into it. If you want to share it with other people, you can just go to whichever trade you want. So let's say you want trend reversal up, pop out. You know what, you can do collaborate. So this is what it is. So I mean, if you have a scan that somebody else has, you can always ask them to give you this code, or if you have your own code and if you want to share it with somebody else, this is all you do. You just use it over here. So you just do copy, right? I might have cut it. So you do copy, cancel. So if you want to say open another new window, you open say top list and you do collaborate and you just paste the window over here and boom, this is trend reversal log window. So that's the way to do it, right? So it does build scanners. They have after hours window, which is similar like the pre-market windows over here. They have short squeeze already talked about, infrastructure, right? So this is sector based. You have surge, which is volume surge. So they have really already pre-built scanners in it. So based on what you want to do, what type of trader you are, you can use different kind of scanners, right? So pre-market, post-market, in terms of high volume movers, what is trending, what has a lot of volume. So they already have pre-built scanners already built into it. I mean, you really want to go and see in terms of how what's the volume or what's the criteria that you want to use based on your own trading criteria, based on own trading style. And yeah, that's where you can do it. I mean, if you want to say, hey, you know what, I want to go and find something which is, let's say, on the daily is it's too overstretched, right? So maybe you want to use top list window. You go and do some collaboration or configuration. You do filters. You use some RSI. So daily RSI. I mean, if you want something which has gone down too much, you can always do, you know what, minimum or maximum RSI of 20 or maybe even 10. So it means the stock is pretty stretched out, right? So on the lower side, so you maybe is stressed so much on the downside that you are expecting for it to bounce. You can base it based on volume, right? Maybe it has last volume, relative volume. So all pretty cool features. I mean, this is just a demo one. I mean, if you are day trading, you might want to have some kind of live trading data. But if you want to make do your homework in terms of preparation for pre-market, I think, hey, you know what, this is the best deal out there. Come 9:20, 9:30, you can always do you can quickly take a look on this and go to the time frame and do it based on whichever day you want. I mean, historically, you can always do this, right? One of the cool features on here is also alerts. So they have pre-built alerts in it. So if you go to alerts, show you how it is. So on configure, they have different type of alerts, right? Maybe it's making a new high. Maybe you want to find something which has making a 20-day new high, right? That's one way to do it. Or maybe even 20-day new lows, right? New high ask, new high bid. How much it is pulling back from the highs, pulling back from the lows. Maybe you want to go long, short. So a lot of criteria is going to show you in terms of the alerts, right? How in terms of relative volume spike, stock to its activity, right? Whether the stock is halted, whether it's resumed, whether the stock has been running up, if it's been running down. So different kind of based on how far it is from VWAP, from 20-day moving averages, right? So you want to find consolidations. It's all built into it, right? All these alerts are built into it. So based on your preference, you can create alerts. So let's say I want to create alerts, say something which has a new high in the past, for the past 20 days. I want to have relative volume of 2, volume today of 300,000 or more. In the past 1 minute, volume should be about 1,000% more. Minimum volume 300%. So let's see, right? So let's put on this on here. So this way, it's really cool on here. You're gonna go in history. You can go and do time frame, right? So maybe I want to see based on Friday. If Friday is this is it. Maybe I want to see something which is from when the market was opened till maybe the first half hour, right? What has actually started moving. Go 9:30 to 10, and then you'll see all these fun stuff on here. I mean, it doesn't look like anything was really based on the criteria. There's nothing on here. So let's say maybe you want to stretch it out, right? The market wasn't really that strong, but so nothing showing up over here. But if there was any, it will show up. So that's one way to you can actually use it, right? If you want to see information of a particular stock, just go to single stock and say you put an Apple. It's going to show you in terms of how the stock did for the particular day and so on. So yeah, that's just pretty cool feature for trade ideas. If you're looking for some extra ideas in terms of finding what names to trade in the pre-market, post-market, or maybe during the market hours, right? This is, once again, this is a demo platform, so it's delayed by 20 minutes. So depending on the trading strategy, if it's more laid back and if you are more than enough time, you know what, you want to use trade ideas to find ideas start based on 9 o'clock, then you can. If you want real-time platform, then hey, you know what, it is what it is. You can get it real time. So yeah, if any questions, hit me up. Hope you guys like the video. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one.